Welcome to Community Voices with your host, PastorLauchie. This radio roundtable features community, business, and religious leaders that discuss current events and topics that impact our urban community. If you would like to be a guest or if you have a suggested topic, contact the station today at 616-259-7342. Now, into the program.
Welcome back. This is Pastor PastorLauchie, and you've tuned into another edition of Community Voices on 91.9 FM, The People's Choice. I'm excited today to have in the studio two young ladies that will be talking about something valuable to our community, something that's been around a little while, but then there's also some new heights and deeper depths that this organization is going to be taking us to. I'm excited to have in the studio Miss Annie Edwards, longtime member and current parliamentarian of the National Association of NEGRO Business Professional Women's Clubs of America. And she is definitely in support of by this young lady sitting next to her, and that's Dr. Alisa Carter. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm glad you're both here, and we're going to talk a little bit about and it's hard to say these letters in sync. You probably it rolls right off your tongue, the NANBPWC.
See, that's it, yeah.
Wow. How long did it take you to learn how to say that?
You have to add the incorporated on the end, too.
That's right. But it's been a while. Miss Annie, you've got a little bit of history with the organization. Yeah. You weren't a founder, but you were here from the beginning.
No, I joined in 1983.
In 83, but the organization was around a little bit longer than that.
It was chartered in 1963.
In the Grand Rapids.
In the Grand Rapids. The
but
national
1938 was the
1935 was the national organization.
Wow.
That was the first club, was the New York Club.
So tell us a little bit about it. I mean, with the word Negro in it, of course, it's got some history, like the NAACP or any of the other organizations that were started during that time. Give us a little background in history.
Well, the women got together. They were business owners, managers, whatever, and they found that there was nothing for African American women.
Okay.
And so they start talking about it in 1934, and they wanted to meet the needs of their communities, and they finally completely formed the organization, and it was chartered in 1935.
Wow.
And it's all over the United States. We have a club in Ghana, and we have one in Bermuda.
Terrific. And these clubs are they considered chapters? Or?
They're clubs.
Okay.
The sororities are chapters, but we're clubs.
Great. So that means that each organization in each of those states have their own pretty much parameter or boundaries?
They give us program guidelines that we have to do every year. We have our own 501c3, but the organization has all the clubs under their 501c3.
Got it.
So, they give us parameters we have mandatory programs that we have to do. They have some that are called special programs. And then we have leadership, entrepreneurship, technology, and service.
Nice.
And those, they did a study last year, and they found out that that's what was really needed. So they want to make sure that every club does something in those areas.
Yeah. For somebody who might just be tuning in, you have dialed into the right place at the right time. You're listening to the Community Voices broadcast on 91.9 FM, The People's Choice. But Miss Annie Edwards, a longtime member of the National Association of Negro Business Professional Women's Clubs, Inc. All right. And you're laughing because you usually go NANBPWC, Inc.
Or sometimes we just say BPW.
BPW. All right. I like that. That makes it simpler. Great. Well, I'm excited that you're here and you're able to tell us a little bit about the history of such an organization that's been around a while. I can remember working for the state of Michigan in the Minority Business Division, and we made a directory of all of the organizations in the state of Michigan that supported minority business. And this organization, the Detroit Club, was listed in our directory.
We have two Detroit clubs.
You have two Detroit clubs,
yes.
And I remember one of them specifically was listed in the directory, and I got an opportunity to go interview somebody from the organization, and I went, wow, that's part of our history.
Yes.
That's part of our history. So, strong history, a long-standing organization. Now you're the new president. Tell us about your experience with this organization, Dr. Carter.
Yes, I've been a member of the Grand Rapids Club just over 2 years now, and it has been wonderful. The sisterhood as well as the service projects that we do. I love the goals that we have in serving our community providing the programs to support other business and professionals within the Grand Rapids community.
So there's a sense of camaraderie, obviously, sisterhood. I heard that term.
Yeah.
And you guys aren't wearing red for nothing, right?
No, this is our club colors. I thought I would wear it today. It's our logo, the world in the hands of women.
Nice. Well, tell us a little bit about what's coming up, and then we can get into some details about the mission of the organization. Recently, or most currently, you're going to be partnering with senior neighbors
Yes.
on a cybersecurity workshop, navigating the World Wide Web. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, our cybersecurity program this coming Saturday will be held at the Grand Rapids Public Library, downtown Grand Rapids.
At the main branch.
Yes, the main branch. It's a free program, and it's open to the community. And there we're going to, there'll be training provided to help individuals identify scams. You know, we get so many text messages, we get emails, we get phone calls. I always tell people, I joke and I say, scam likely is calling me again, you know.
Well, I actually started saving some people's phone number under the scam likely. So I can be aware.
Oh my
That's a nice feature.
It is. It really is.
But it's a serious thing now, especially
It
with
is.
seniors that are, oftentimes seniors
Yes.
are not protected because of their lack of knowledge of the World Wide Web. And then well, you could be any age and be taken. People take your identity, people do credit fraud and all of that. But what's your objective here? Who are you trying to reach for this particular session?
Of course, seniors are always a large part of the audience, but we want to share this with everyone because right now, anyone who's carrying that cell phone or who is on the tablet or the laptop could be a victim.
Sure.
All it takes is to click on one wrong thing, and that's it. Right now, you get a lot of text messages from like it's a fake Amazon account or a fake UPS saying that they
your
need to
package
confirm. Yes,
Yeah. I almost got caught.
exactly. See how many people? I think everyone could say that there has been something that they received that they almost clicked on. Right?
Well, every day you get a notification of somebody trying to reach out to you that you've never heard of, and you get the option of reporting it as junk mail and blocking them. I always block and report. But the scams are definitely targeted towards the naive. So this program, this Saturday workshop, is going to be valuable, I think, to lots of different people. So you're anticipating that it will start at 2:00?
Yes.
On Saturday, November 18th at the Public Library downtown.
It'll be in the Vandenberg room.
In the Vandenberg.
Upstairs on the 4th floor.
Okay. There's no charge for this at all. But do they need to register?
We would like to know because we'd like to know how to set up the room.
Sure. How would they go about registering?
Individuals can call the number if you call 616-929-0552. They can call that number and leave a name as well as how many will be attending. This will help us get an idea of, again, how many people are coming and how to best set the room up for the audience.
Exactly.
Right? So
Dr. Carter, give that number again just in case.
it is 616-929-0552.
Terrific. Well, let's go back to talking a little bit more about the organization because you've been around a little while and you had an opportunity to see. Start with the mission. Tell us the mission of this organization.
Our mission is to protect, help African American business and professional women club.
Okay.
And we do workshops on leadership, technology for our own members to help them grow. And that's basically what it is, just to protect and help promote the African American women business.
Business women,
Business women.
I'm sure during the time of its initial organization, it was a different momentum because we lived in a different world. But since there's access to various things now, and people are starting businesses every single day,
yes.
An organization like this can support them how today? I know it was started to be that support.
We still do.
Sure.
We have a technology team on the national level. They do workshops. All the members can come. They do it on Zoom on leadership skills, and then the individual clubs do leadership skills.
Right.
So it's promoting success.
members can join. You know, they really can join. When I joined the club, as I said back then, you had to have a college degree. But now, if a woman has a certificate, beautician, nail tech, they have a license to do what they can do every day. They're eligible to join our club.
Sure. So the term professional then becomes the focus. That their career goal, their objective has been recognized. If someone's an entrepreneur and has a registered business, they can become a part.
They can become a member of this organization.
This is a great opportunity for entrepreneurs as well as business and professional women within the community, because not only do you get the sisterhood, but the support and the training, right? So many times, especially as we talked about in the climate of today's world, where many people are starting their own business, and sometimes, you can have a skill, you can have all the passion, you can even have a customer base, but coming alongside a group of other business professional women will help you take it to the next level.
Absolutely. I think they call that synergy, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And so that's definitely a benefit of becoming an organization like this.
Sure. Dr. Carter, we were talking a little off air about connecting and networking with other organizations. I know Senior Neighbors is one that you're partnering with for the upcoming cybersecurity workshop. But ideally, what would you like to see as it relates to partnering with existing organizations or communities of which we're going to draw the same audiences or the same congregants, keyword, of people? So talk a little bit about that connection, either of you.
Yeah, I think it's really important to come together and to collaborate. Many organizations are out there, and we all have that goal, right? We want to help our community. Yeah. We want to strengthen our community, and we want to be successful doing that. Well, many hands make light work.
I like that.
Right? And so you take the folks that I have, we get the folks that you have, we get the folks that she has, and we bring them all together and provide what the people need. And so we enjoy and look forward to collaborating with other organizations, churches. I'd love to even see us partner with other sororities within the community.
We have partnered with them in the past.
Oh, terrific.
The Deltas and AKA, yes.
Yeah.
We have partnered with them.
I would imagine that'd be an easy fit because you're both striving toward empowerment and helping to enlighten our people. We got to go back to the name. The Negro businesswoman. We no longer use that term as often, but there are organizations who was established during that era, that time.
That has come up in one of our national conventions, and that's one of the great things about the organization too. We have a national convention, a district conference, and an area meeting. We just finished the area meeting in September. You meet a lot of wonderful sisters from other places, but we just.
Excuse me.
It's just wonderful being there. But you learn when you go to all these different conventions, you know what the other sisters do. And they support you, in your city. They may say, well, in our city, we do this and we do that. And, I'd like to try that,
Yeah. Great idea exchange. Well, there's some, I don't want to use the term boundaries, but there's some parameters for the organization in serving specific areas, national, local, district. So is Michigan one considered area? Or
we are part of the North Central District.
Got it.
North Central District is Pennsylvania, Ohio, Illinois, and Michigan. We formerly had a club in Louisville, Kentucky, and one in Indianapolis, Madam C.J. Walker, but those clubs no longer exist. Sure. So we get together at the area meeting. We just had clubs from all those places. And then our district conferences also, we get those.
And you probably bring in national speakers, or you have sessions and workshops.
Yes.
Great. Tell us about what drew you to the organization, Dr. Carter.
Well, actually, Miss Annie was the person who introduced me to the organization.
I kind of figured she had something to do with it. But go ahead.
So some people know me as a jewelry lady. And so I sell paparazzi accessories live on Facebook. I have a team across the country. And so she's seen me working my business on Facebook. And at the end of all my shows, I'm also a life coach. So at the end of my shows, I always give words of inspiration. And she reached out to me and she said, I've been watching you and I think you'd be great for our organization. And then I had not, honestly, I had not heard about the organization before. So she began to tell me about the organization. I attended at the time. We were meeting virtually on Zoom. And I thought, okay, I like this group. These women, they got it together.
Handling their business, as
yes,
they would say, right?
They are doing it. So I said, you know what? Yes, I want to be a part of this. I definitely want to be a part of this. And it's been a great experience.
And you were recently elected president.
Yes. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great. So how do you recruit a woman like that? tell me about that. Because you probably recruited quite a few over the years.
Yeah, you do. You watch her and you see that she's got skills, potential, leadership potential. This is what we're looking for. And then you just kind of quietly go up and
draw her in.
Draw her in.
Well, I'm sure that it was not.
And of course, our meetings are open. If someone thinks they might be interested, they're welcome to come and sit in on one of our meetings.
Okay, so you invite guests, and those guests could probably share with others to
other
come.
people. Yeah, they want to see if it's a good fit, because it's not for everybody.
Sure. So you've been involved with the Grand Rapids area organization since the 80s, right?
Yes.
Tell us what has been your most proud moment for the time that you've been involved.
Well, everybody in Grand Rapids knew our club as the club that brought the Ebony Fashion Fair for years.
There you go.
And we did it until they no longer had a fashion fair.
Okay.
And people would come up to me, I want my ebony. When are you going to do that fashion fair again? And that was our really proud thing that we were proud of, was having that event.
Sure. And that involved multiple generations. It involved different people in different walks of life and lots of business opportunities.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, you've been in your role, or you've been affiliated for the last 2 years, 2.5 years?
Yes.
What are you most proud about?
I think I have to say my last attendance with the district or the area meeting in Ann Arbor. I was able to meet so many awesome women in this organization, and it really opened my eyes to even more. Meeting lawyers, meeting politicians, meeting the clergy, as well as just other regular business entrepreneurs. It really opened my eyes to the potential, to the service, and also hearing their stories. Right, and the things that they're doing for their communities.
Yeah. There's probably some opportunities for somebody listening that might be a donor or supporter or a grantor of funds for nonprofits. You are a registered 501c3 organization.
Yes, we are.
And considered a service group. Yeah, tell us about opportunities for people to sow into this or to give or support.
Yes, I would say that we are definitely open to sponsorships as well as donations for the various programs that we put on. They would definitely help us meet our goals in servicing the community. And there's a lot of opportunities out there. She shared the Get Ready, Stay Ready program.
That was off the air. Let's talk a little bit about that. That's one of your big.
That's one of our big. Yes. Get Ready, Stay Ready is a program that was set up by FEMA to first let people know that there may be a time when you need to evacuate your home. Or shelter in your home.
Sure, we just recently experienced that. Yeah.
So we train people to that, that they may have to do that. We tell them what supplies they have to get to have. We always have your backpack ready. I have a backpack for me. I have one for my husband. And we have a crank radio in there, so the power is gone. So, you have that.
Sure.
And so, that's what we do. And the first time we did it at St. Luke Church, which is where I am a member. And I had people to come up to me and said, I never gave it a thought.
Right.
That I may have to leave home or my
or
shelter. Had that kind of emergency. So that's one of the programs that we really enjoy doing.
Is that a big turnout? Do you get a lot of participation?
We did, at that time, because we did it through the church.
And this was prior to COVID?
Prior to COVID, yes. Wow. Last year, another program that we've done, actually, that was twice. We did active shooter for the churches because we know our black churches are vulnerable for terrorists. And so we had 2 deputies from Kent County Department of Corrections come out and teach us what to do. And it was well attended by pastors.
Sure.
They came out. They really wanted to hear.
Yeah, I think we had representatives from our church there.
Did you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we heard about that. I think it's vital to expose as much information as possible so that, like you said, if you be ready or stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And that's for pandemics as well as the way that the world is going
yes.
today. I think that value in the service organizations and the fraternities, the sororities, the church groups, the spinoff groups from church, because there's a lot of faith-based groups that exist as well as a result of us meeting those needs. I want to congratulate you on your years of service and your new leadership. We've got about 10 minutes left. I want to go into a deeper conversation, though, with you about your passion behind this. And to give you a few minutes to think, I want you to think about this. Why commit your time to such an organization? You could be doing a sorority or another organization, and you may do both. But what really impassions you about serving in this organization? And I'm obviously looking at two different generations here.
With me, it's the service to the community.
Okay, talk about it, because in the era of the time in which you became involved in the 80s, that was the 1900s, literally, right?
It was, yeah.
And now we're in the 2000s.
Right, and we were just, at that time, we were just doing programs that we thought fit. Now our national organization has progressed, and they've done research, and they know what's out there. Like, they were the ones that had a contact with FEMA. I think we had a person in one of the New York clubs that worked for FEMA and said, hey, this is what we need to do. And they pass it down to us. And I'm so thankful when we do those programs and we have people come up to us and say, I really appreciate that. We do Think Heart, Think Health, and we provide information, do workshop on how to be healthy, how to prevent heart attacks, strokes, all that kind of things. Last year, we passed out some information, and a man came up to me and he said, thank you for doing that. My doctor had talked to me about that, but I really didn't understand it.
And so you made it simple and more relatable.
So, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm doing something for the community.
It sounds like community. It sounds like community as a verb and not just a noun, that you're doing it. You're doing community and making a difference in the lives of people. And it impacts generations. It's not just for one group or the other. It's for all of us. Because when COVID hit, it impacted everybody demographic of people. I kind of laugh because my wife made fun of me. I made some readiness kits. I went to the dollar store, bought a plastic container with a lid, and I put everything in there from a small lighter to a flashlight, zip ties. Anything that you could possibly think of that we might need in the case of an emergency. Either having to evacuate or shelter in place. We got our generator and all that other stuff. And you never really think about those things until now that we've lived through an era of a pandemic, and there'll probably be more.
Oh, they will.
At any given time, a grid could be knocked out. Yeah. So the service, being able to do that. What about you? What drives you to do this work? I know you said earlier you really enjoy the sisterhood of the professional women. And that's probably inspiring where you are in your stage of professional development and growth. But what are the other things? Go a little bit deeper as to what inspired you to be a part of this organization.
I would, again, say the sisterhood and the mentorship.
Okay.
That is provided, because we do have, like Miss Annie, even Miss Maggie has been in the organization as long as I've been living.
You doing some shout outs? What's Miss Maggie's last name?
Maggie Hankins.
Miss Maggie Hankins.
Yes.
Anybody else you want to shout out?
And so the mentorship that you get is immeasurable, right? Because these women come from different backgrounds, but they are all business and professional women who pride themselves in being that. And so I think that is a wonderful part of it, as well as the service, right? It feels good to be a blessing to others, right? And then the other piece I would say is the belonging. I think that since the pandemic, a lot of people don't belong to the things they used to belong to.
There was a lot of isolation going on.
There was.
There was, and a lot of people are still sheltered in. Some people are getting out just a little bit.
I know, we're almost 3 years out, and people are just peeking their heads like the groundhog.
Peeking out just to see. And I think that this is a great organization for someone even in that mode, right?
Yeah.
I have one of our new members is a classmate of mine.
Okay.
And when I joined the organization, I reached back to her. She's an entrepreneur. And I said, you know what? You need to join this club. This is going to be good for you. She's a new entrepreneur. And I said, this is going to, just being around other business professionals, right? The mentorship is really good. The training we provide is excellent. And then the sisterhood.
Yeah.
Right? Because sometimes as entrepreneurs, you do feel like you're out there by yourself sometimes, right? Because we go through the ups and downs. But when you have a collection of women there to support and empower you, it makes a difference.
Well, I definitely stand behind the effort. I've got entrepreneurship in my family. My mother was a business owner, and my daughters are all business owners as well.
That's
and
wonderful.
I will be pointing them in this direction. A couple of them are local, and others live in other
Okay,
states.
wonderful.
And they can find the chapters in their state. They can find the organizations there. As we close this out, I want you all to make an appeal for the persons that you want to come and check you guys out, whether it's the workshops or whether it's to come and be a member. Just want to give you a few minutes to just make that pitch, because they're listening. They're driving or at home or at work, or somebody might be on the treadmill right now listening to this. And so, we got a couple of minutes. So we want to make sure you share the website and how to get in touch. But take these few moments to do that. We'll start with you, and then we'll let Ms. Annie finish.
All right. I would just like to say to any business or professional woman out there, whether you are currently working in corporate America, whether you are retired or an entrepreneur launching a business out on your own, that we welcome you to come and join us to be a part of a great sisterhood that will support, empower, encourage you, and then work alongside of us to service our community, to meet the needs of our community and have a presence there. So I would just encourage any woman out there. We do have a Facebook page for our club, the NANBPW, the Grand Rapids Club. So we do have a Facebook page. They can reach out to us there.
NANBPW Grand Rapids.
Yeah, the Grand Rapids.
I think Grand Rapids is first.
Okay.
And then that, yeah.
So it'd be the Grand Rapids
NANBPW Club.
BPW Club.
And they'll find other clubs. We're linked to the
national network. Okay.
So they'll find programs that other clubs are having too.
Sure.
That's on our page.
Nice.
And I'd like to appeal to a woman that maybe you've raised your children, they're out of the house, and you have some time that you want to get involved, which was my case. I had 4 children, and they were off in college and things, and I decided to get involved.
That's good.
And so maybe I'm sure there's a lot of women like that. You now have time for yourself, and I would encourage you to check us out. Contact us. You can come and visit a meeting or call me. I'd be happy to talk with you.
You want to give out a number?
My phone number is 616-340-8301 if you'd like someone to talk to you.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah, you both are just kind of beaming with excitement over being a part of this organization. The Saturday event that's coming up is going to be at the Grand Rapids Public Library. That's 111 Library Street, Northeast, here in Grand Rapids on the 4th floor. Saturday, November 18th at 2 o'clock. No cost, but it would be great if they call ahead to register so that you will be able to prepare for the number of people. They could bring their own laptops, their own tablets, or smartphone, and they'll learn about cybersecurity. What's the phone number they should call in order to give you numbers, the number of people attending?
Again, that number is 616-929-0552.
Great. Listen, thank you so much, Dr. Alisa Carter and Miss Annie Edwards. You all are an excitement.
Well, thank you for having us.
I always get excited to do these and learn more about organizations and draw the connection. But I most definitely will be sharing this with my my offspring. These ladies are all young entrepreneurs and professionals and moms.
What city do they live in?
Well, 2 of them are here in Grand Rapids.
And
then we got one in another city. So
in
in New York. And
we do have in New York. There's two. There's a Brooklyn club and a New York club.
One of my daughter-in-laws, her and my son travel back and forth between Brooklyn and Grand Rapids, and then another one lives in Rochester, New York.
Okay, I think there's a Rochester club.
I would imagine so. Rochester is very cultural town.
I think there's a Rochester club.
And then the other ones are right here in Grand Rapids. So
Yes,
terrific.
We would love to hear from them.
Yeah.
I'll put them in touch, and I hope those of you who are listening, you would either share this information with somebody who could benefit from it, or you would take advantage of this yourself. I'm going to see if I know I'm out of town on the 18th, but I'm going to send some folks I know, specifically some seniors that are tech savvy, but they are also vulnerable to this type of or need for cybersecurity. Thanks for tuning in again to another edition of Community Voices on 91.9 FM, The People's Choice.
You've been listening to Community Voices with your host, Terrence Lachey. Community Voices can be heard every Friday at 12 noon. This radio roundtable features community, business, and religious leaders that discuss current events and topics that impact our urban community. If you would like to be a guest, or if you have a suggested topic, contact the station today at 616-259-7342. Until next week, let your voice be heard in the community.